Hi there. Today I'm going to do a quick review, which is technically not a review, of the Blackstar ht20. This is more of a test. And the reason for me doing this is because lately I found it really hard to get to clean up with my volume knob when the distortion channel is engaged. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to compare how this amp will sound with the stock 12AX7 preamps. And as soon as we're done with this session, I'm gonna quickly switch off the camera and replace the two preamp with a lower gain 12AU7. So here goes. Before we begin, I just want to show you that I have my master volume on 9 o'clock, ISF all the way clockwise to the Brit, full Brit setting, tone stack all 12 o'clock, distortion volume is roughly around, I would say, 10 o'clock here, and the gain itself is, now it's 9 o'clock. We're trying to get this as clean as possible. I'm using a Strat with David Gilmour pickups. Right now the selector is on number 2, which is where the neck and middle pickups are engaged. The Strat presence control is 0, the EXG is at 5, and volume itself is at 5. So here goes. So right now I've taken off the rear panel and I've taken out the stock tubes. You guys probably can't really see it from here, but what it is it's a sovtek. Let's see if I can focus it. There you go. Maybe it's slightly better. It's a sovtek 12AX7. Let's see. 7025 12AX7WA. Russian made sovtek with 1104 engravings at the bottom. Don't know if you guys can see it or not because it's kind of dark. Anyway, these are the stock tubes, and what I'm about to put in there are some EH12AU7s or ECC82s. I'm gonna put them in right now. So now both tubes are in, and I'm gonna turn this thing back on again. Let's wait a little bit while this thing warms up. So now we've waited at least 5 minutes for the tubes to warm up. What is noticeable immediately is the overall volume. Perhaps because the preamp is lower gain, then the overall volume output is also reduced. Same settings. I'm gonna play the exact same thing as what I did earlier before the tube change. As you can tell, the volume is greatly reduced. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to crank the volume up a little bit, maybe to slightly before 12 o'clock. Maybe a little bit more. It's noticeably cleaner. I'm gonna crank this just a little bit more. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch the pickup selector all the way down to my ht20 at the bridge. I'm going to turn off all the EXG and SPC down on the Gilmore setup, and I'm going to crank the volume all the way up. Not to wake the neighbors. What's noticeable right away is the fact that the overall clean headroom is increased at the expense of the overall volume, but that's also because we haven't really cranked up the master volume right there. So we're technically reliant on just the 2-pin power amps here. Why don't I try and crank this all the way up and see what happens. As you can tell, we're now hearing more noise, and I'm guessing it's gonna be even more so as we crank the master volume up. But just for argument's sake, we're gonna put this back to 9 o'clock, slightly down here, and see what kind of sound we get at 100% gain. Not too bad. Why don't we try and move the ISF all the way to the American side and see what we get. Maybe I'll crank it up a little bit more. Definitely losing the metal edges, but this creates a lot of space and room for boost and external distortion, which is not a bad idea because I mean this is enough distortion, at least for me, to play rhythm, and so I'm gonna need additional headroom for my solos and additional volume gain. So I think this could be a workable setup. There you go, 12x7 versus 12AU7. Thank you.